Hello everyone and welcome. A lot of you are asking me to do a prototype gear guide and an escalation guide, so we're going to merge both of those into one and put it out in this video. I aim to answer all of your questions today. If I miss anything though, just comment down below and I'll get back to you, but I think I've got you covered. So here's a prototype build I put together on screen now. This was my original blue striker build and we've upgraded this. I've got a piece to show you today on how upgrading works, so we'll go over that. But it's not just about upgrading your builds, because there's prototype gear that can drop in the escalation game mode. So I want to start with escalation today and discuss everything you need to know about that. So escalation has just been added this season and it's probably going to get changed in time. So this is going to be part of my beginner guide series. If there's any changes or adjustments in the future, we'll make this video and we'll give you all of the changes and adjustments. So depending on when you watch this, it could be a little bit out of date, because I imagine some things will come soon. But anyway, at the base of operations, over in the countdown vendor, you're now going to have an escalation board, and each week this is going to reset. You can see time remaining 3 days 4 hours at the time of recording this video, and it says available missions. So right now on escalation, we've got the Art Museum, Grand Washington Hotel, Jefferson Plaza, Potomac Event Center, and Coney Island. From here we can select the mission and we can go ahead and fast travel to them, or you can also just bring up your map and you'll see that the missions have different icons to let you know that they are escalation missions for this week. You can also just fast travel to them. Now, the benefit of coming here and selecting the mission and going is that if I fast travel from here, it'll get me outside of the mission and I'll already have it set up for an escalation run. If you fast travel to the mission, you're just going to have to press Z. You can see it's Z to de-escalate right now, so I'll just de-escalate it. If you just fast travel to the mission, it'll be normal like this, and you'll have to escalate it by pressing Z. I don't know what it is on controller, but it'll tell you. Now, once you go into the escalation menu for a escalation mission, this is all about upping the difficulty, and you are going to have a new resource. So this screen tells you everything that you need to know, and you can see it goes up to 10 levels. So there's like 10 levels of difficulty. Now, when you first start this and you start at 0 tokens, you can see the new resource here. I've currently got 24 of them. You're going to start with 0. You'll have to start on tier 0, and that will reward you with your first token, so you then can up it to tier 1, and then you complete it again, up it to tier 2, and so on. And as you're advancing through the tiers of difficulty, you'll earn back those tokens with profit, or if you fail, you'll lose them. So it's important to remember that, because it starts quite easy at tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, but each tier is advancing in difficulty, and there's no checkpoints when you're playing escalation. If you die and you wipe, you start again and you lose what you put in, which means you could get all the way up to 7 like me here, die, lose all your coins, and have to go back to start farming some more. I say coins, I mean tokens. Farming some more tokens. So it is a token system, and you do need to think about this. Now, escalation, you can matchmake. It'll matchmake with people that are at the same tier as you, I believe, but it's best to work in either solo or with a squad and as a group of friends, and whoever's the team leader is going to be the one that is going to be putting in the tokens to start the mission. Now, if you're joining someone else who's a team leader, you don't actually spend any tokens, and you get to do it with them. However, they will be rewarded with more tokens than you on completion. I believe they're meant to get back the tokens they put in, plus the reward that you all get. So the leader will always earn more tokens than the people that aren't the leader and not putting tokens in, if that makes sense. It's kind of how the token system works. You start on lower tiers, you earn tokens, and you unlock advancing tiers that you can spend into. So from this screen right now, with 24 tokens, I can buy the next tier, which will cost me 1. I deposited 1. I could do this at tier 1. I could deposit another one and do it at tier 2. I could deposit more. 7 tokens right now for a tier 3 escalation mission of this, or I could go to 4 for 12, 5 for 20, and I'm stuck at 20 because I don't have enough tokens to go to 6 or 7 right now. At the time of recording, I think it's a little bit of a bug with how they are rewarding the tokens back to you. You're having to kind of repeat some tiers a few times to get to the next tier, which I don't think is intended. Hopefully that's a fix soon. But anyway, you'll notice as I went through those tiers, we're going to do it again. You'll notice here on the right hand side, it's giving you the advancements in difficulty. So at tier 0, everything is 100%. How it should be. So I'm guessing this should be like heroic, but it's 100% enemy damage, 100% enemy health, 100% enemy armor. I'll show you the rewards that you can get from this as well. Enemies may drop prototype gear. Very important to note that prototype gear can only drop in escalation, no other mode. So obviously we can upgrade our builds, which we'll talk about in a minute, But if you're looking for drops, it can only happen in escalation missions each week. And at the lower tiers, it's a lower chance of dropping. But as you go up the tiers, there's a higher chance of it dropping. And also, as you go up the tiers, you'll get more XP, more season XP, and more rewards. So I'm going to go up each tier now, and we can see how this changes. So as I go into tier 1, you can see enemy damage is 150, enemy health is 160, enemy armor is 160, and an active modifier has been added. We can take a look at those in a moment. The rewards have gone up as well, and that'll be a higher chance of prototype gear. If we go to 2, you can see all of the scaling going up again, with more mutators being added, more rewards being added, and still a higher chance of prototype gear. So the higher we get this, it's going to be the higher the difficulty, more mutators you got to deal with, the higher chance of prototype gear to drop, and the higher rewards if you complete it. Now, if you'd like to know what these mutators are, I can press G here. It'll bring up the mutator screen, and you can see all the icons and what each of them do. Now, I'm not going to talk through all these. You can read these yourselves, but some of these, well, they're designed to make it even more tricky, which is why they add more modifiers the higher you go. And as you get towards the top tiers, you're going to have to deal with all of these modifiers or mutators. And that is pretty much it. That is Escalation. Every week will give you a different set of missions. Every season is going to give you a different set of mutators, maybe, or different mutators or whatnot. Your aim is to kind of get as high as you can and complete tier 10. That's the ultimate challenge. However, if you're just looking to farm for the rewards or for the prototype pieces, like as you get even higher, it drops exotic components. So if you can get a comfortable farm on a higher tier, it's going to be a great exotic component farm. But I know right now what people are wanting is the prototype gear. So I'd say right now your aim should be, depending on where you're at. Now, if you, what you need to remember as well is Escalation and Prototype Gear is aimed at the player at the end of the game. They have done everything on the game. So they've gone through to level 40, they've done the watch to level 1000 or beyond, and they have done all their expertise and everything. That player that's kind of done everything in the game, this is what it's aimed for, or who it's aimed for. So if you're not quite there yet, Escalation and Prototype Gear is going to feel quite rare and quite hard to do, but that's the intention. So you've still got your journey to do, and if you've still got your watch to work on, expertise to work on, you should still focus on that. Doesn't mean you can't take part in this though. So I'm going to give you some advice now on how I think you should take Escalation if you're not in a position to upgrade your builds right now, or if you just want to farm Escalation for luck to try and get the drops or whatnot. So this is my advice to you now if you are playing Escalation and what you're going to want to do. Now you want to find the tier that you are most comfortable at, the highest possible, with whether you're solo or with a group. Farm this, go up the tiers and find the one that you feel like, yeah, that's where I'm at. We're completing it quite easily, but the next tier you might wipe or something is a little bit more difficult. That's going to be your farming point, as we call it. So I'm going to say aim for, if you can get to 5, that's a nice spot. 6 would be an even nicer spot, because I believe exotic components will start dropping at 6. But 5's good. Now, if your level is like 1, 2, 3, and that's where your level's at right now, and you're farming tiers 1, 2, 3, hoping for prototype gear to drop, that's going to be a hard farm. Okay, it is very low drop rate as it is, never mind on the lower tiers. You'll be farming for hours on end, potentially without even seeing a prototype drop. Bear that in mind. However, when you start getting to like 4, 5, you will start seeing the odd one. The drops are a little bit better. So if you're not getting there yet, work on getting some builds together. It doesn't have to be prototype builds right now. I'd say you and your squad without prototype builds should be able to get to around 4, 5, 6 and farm that before it starts getting too difficult. Even if you're experienced with a bit of practice, right build synergy, without prototype gear, you should be looking around this level to start farming, and that should be your aim. So if you're down here right now, work on your builds, have a look at some YouTube guides, look how other people are doing it, get some good build synergy together, and aim to 4, 5, or 6. When you're here, you will start seeing more prototype drops, and this will be a nice zone to farm to hopefully get some good prototype gear. Now, when this was on the PTS, I played a lot of Escalation, and my RNG was terrible. They've upped the drop rate since then. I only got 2 with all the PTS action that I did. But at the time of recording this, it was the first time I went into Escalation. I got my first prototype drop just there. I turned away a little bit quick, but that red bar dropped me a prototype. So this red bar coming up now. So it can happen, and we're only on tier 4 right now. I just want to show you what a prototype piece looks like. There it is. I got it off of Red Bar. It's like a purple beam. It's very exciting when it drops, and this was at tier 4. It was at tier 4 while we were grinding this, when my team was starting to get them quite regular. We did a session where we did about 6 runs, I want to say. We went through tier 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I think we ended on 5, maybe 6 or 7 runs of Grand Washington Hotel, and we had 5 prototype drops in total between us, which weren't bad. So we hadn't even reached like 6 or 7 yet, and they were starting to drop at the same time. Here Lady Rock got one too, and this was her first prototype piece of the new season. So we got 2 prototype pieces at tier 4 in one room. Now, I want to go a bit in depth with the drops there, just because one of the biggest things in my streams the last few days has been they are too rare, they're not dropping. I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that the lower tiers, you're probably not going to see them that often at all. I'd say try and get to 4 minimum before you really invest a lot of time into farming tiers. Find your comfort zone, get to your comfort zone, and then farm it, and make that comfort zone a minimum of 4, definitely 5 if you can make it, and most certainly 6 if you can make it. In time, as you get better, as you start getting prototype pieces, start building your builds and upgrading your builds, your comfort zone will eventually become 7, 8, 9, or 10. You'll be completing these every week, but this again is a part of the content. This is to challenge people at the end of the game, to give them more of a grind, something to grind for, and something else to overcome. So if you're nowhere near the end of the game yet, you can understand why this is so hard right now. When you're seeing the process is so hard, is because even for people at the end of the game that have done everything, it's built to challenge them, and it's built to give them a grind. So that's Escalation in a nutshell. I hope I give you a good enough explanation there so you understand it. It is hard, they are rare drops, and there will be changes coming and adjustments coming with all the feedback we give Massive to yeah, hopefully make it even more perfect. What I want to talk about now though is the other side of prototype gear, and that is the upgrading your current build side. Now, as it stands right now, prototype gear will drop, and there's so many different talents and weapons and gear pieces in the game, it's completely random. To actually get something that you want is gonna be like winning the lottery, and to get it god rolled as well, like it's gonna be hard. Now, they have spoke about adding targeted loot in for prototypes, so in the future, and hopefully soon, we'll take Grand Washington as an example here. If I select today's targeted loot, we can see strikers on it. Now, this would be perfect if it would have a chance of dropping striker prototype gear, right? Well, that should be coming down the line, and I think that'll be huge, because on a day like today, if I was to be able to farm tier 4, 5, or 6 on an Escalation, I'd be grinding Grand Washington Hotel all day in the hope that I get the striker targeted loot to drop to do my prototype striker builds. That will become a thing in the future, which will make the drops more feasible, I want to say. They're still feasible right now. We'll be seeing how we upgrade to prototype in a moment, and what a new resource you're going to need. I mean, you dismantle prototype gear, you get this resource. So even without targeted loot, even with just getting the drops, even if they're not what you want, dismantling them is going to be very rewarding anyway, and you want to dismantle as much prototype as you can. But yeah, targeted loot in the future should become a thing. It should make it a bit easier to like build around the drops and farm in Escalation. But right now, my focus is on upgrading my current builds, because this is another way you can make prototype builds, and that's by taking a current build and upgrading it. So if we have a look at like my standard striker build here, I'm able to turn this into a prototype build. So that's kind of where you want your focus to be. But again, back to the journey, you want to make sure before you start thinking about upgrading to prototype, definitely go through the game, get your watch level done, get your expertise done, because you can't actually upgrade until you are expertise level 30. So I have done an expertise guide, and if you go to your expertise station, you can see I'm currently level 30. If you're not level 30 yet, this is your first goal. Yeah, farm Escalation all you want and whatnot, but you should be really focusing on getting to level 30 expertise. And at the time of making this video, there's actually an event coming up, and events like this that you can look out for. It is a proficiency XP event where you can level up things faster in the expertise menu. So when you watch this video, it might be too late, but if you can take advantage of this event or events like this throughout a season, you can reach maximum expertise level 30 a lot quicker. So make sure you're taking advantage of them. Now, I don't want to go too much into expertise in this video, but like I said, that should be your goal right now. If you're not expertise level 30, you should be doing that. Now, once you've got to expertise level 30, how you can upgrade a build to prototype is what you want to do is you want to make them level 30 pieces. So you just make your gun level 30, your gear pieces level 30, and once you've done that, you're able to upgrade them with the new resource, which is called Prototype Core, which you can only get from dismantling Prototype Gear, which is why you're kind of going to want to farm it anyway. There's a few other ways you can get it. I think once per week on each of your characters, you can complete a Dark Hours raid, an Iron Horse raid, or a Paradise Lost incursion, and they will give you Prototype Core caches. You get 2 Prototype Cores per cache. So on one character, you can get, at the minute, 6 prototype cores per week just by completing the raids and the incursion. But other than that, it's dismantling prototype gear only, and you're going to need a lot of it because you'll need that to upgrade pieces to prototype, but also once you've upgraded, to change the augments as well. But yeah, so let's show you a build that I prepped earlier. So I've been upgrading the build. We made everything level 30, so you can see here that all of my pieces here are level 30. I got a Lexington on, that's level 30, so I got them all level 30 before I upgraded them. I've left one item for you. I'm going to show you how to upgrade one now. I've got a caretaker here that's not quite level 30 yet. We'll turn it into level 30 and then prototype it to show you what the process is. But yeah, this has been made much cheaper now as well to get things to level 30. It takes a lot of resources, but it's cheaper than it used to be before the start of this season. And remember, again, there's loads of changes that might come, so everything I'm talking about now, there could be adjustments made in the future to alter how this is done and make it easier and things like that, because a few things I'm about to show you now in terms of roles and not being able to recalibrate is big feedback to the developers. You may also notice as well that my exotics are not prototyped. That's because right now, again, exotics can't be prototyped. They are stuck how they are, but they are looking to add that in the future. So let's upgrade a piece then. Now, for me to upgrade a piece, make sure it's not equipped. If it's equipped, it's okay to get it to level 30 when it's equipped, but to actually make it prototype, if it's equipped, it won't let you. So I've currently got this caretaker we're going to work on. It's not equipped on my build, so we're good. We're going to go into the expertise menu. I'm going to go down to, well, over to assault rifles. We're going to find that caretaker. And what we're going to do is make it level 30. But before we do that, let me show you what happens when you go to the proto lab. If you go to the proto lab from this menu, this is going to show me all of my prototype gear, but also any gear I've got that can be upgraded. So I've got nothing on me right now that can be upgraded. However, if I go back to the expertise and if we make this caretaker level 30, all of a sudden we'll be able to upgrade it. So let's upgrade this piece. Caretaker from 29 to 30. I've got the resources needed. I'm going to click on upgrade, and now I've got a level 30 expertise caretaker. Now that's level 30. Notice on my caretaker, have a quick look at it before we upgrade it. It is max rolled. When they tested this out, they said you had to have it max rolled as well as level 30 before you upgraded it to prototype. Let me remove my cam again while we do this. So yeah, you'll see it's max rolled here. It's level 30. Now, since this has been released, they don't need to be max rolled no more. As long as you get to level 30, you'll be able to upgrade it. And once you upgrade it, it's going to make it all max rolled anyway. Plus, give you one max roll of prototype, so give you the maximum value of a prototype roll, with chance of giving you 2 or 3. It's very unlikely you're going to get a fully max roll prototype piece, so just bear that in mind. There'll still be at least these max rolls though, or better. You won't get worse than this. Even if it's worse than this before you upgrade it, let's say my health damage was only 18, my assault rifle was only 10, damage target was only 8. When I upgrade this to prototype, all of these values will be minimum 15, 21, 10, and at least one of them will then go into a new prototype cap and be max. So I'm going to show you what that looks like now and talk about a bug that's currently in the game as well. So let's go back to this menu here and go to Proto Lab. You'll see the caretaker's there. It's level 30. It's ready to go. We can upgrade to prototype, but we need to have one of the prototype cores. I do have one available. It'll cost me 1 to upgrade it. So again, this is why you need to be farming them. You need cores to upgrade in the first place. So we'll upgrade this now, and we'll get a nice little animation to turn it into a prototype piece. I've now got a prototype caretaker. And now the bug at the minute is that it might show you a god roll like this, or it might change your talent if it's not got a perfect talent on there, and you might be like, wow. However, it might not. It might actually be messed up, show you different rolls than you originally had, and change your talent. Now, at the minute, at the time of making this video, if this bug is still present when you're playing it, what I advise to do is once you've made it prototype, just back out. So log out of the game and log back in. It's a visual bug. It will be correct in the background. So just to get rid of the visual bug, they've told us to log out and back in, and you'll see the real item. So I've logged out. I'm logging back in now, and now we'll see what rolls that we've got. I'm guaranteed to have one max roll. There's a small chance I can have 2, and an even smaller chance that I can have 3 max rolled. But there's a chance nonetheless. So if we go back into here and look at the piece, we'll scroll down to the caretaker, and we'll have a look at what we got. There you go. That was the proper one that I got, and you can see the bug there. Originally, it showed me everything was god rolled. That wasn't the case. It can happen. It's a very small chance, but log out, log back in. Once this bug is fixed, obviously it won't matter, but right now the bug's in the game. So this is what happened. You'll notice that my health damage is 21. That was the maximum of what it was before. 10% on damage target at cover, which was a max roll of how it was before, and it gave me the 1 guaranteed max roll on assault rifle damage, which is where I wanted it. So that's really good. It could have been health damage, it could have been on damage target at cover. It's completely random where it lands, and again, there's a small chance of 2 being maxed. There's a smaller chance of all 3 being maxed. But that is now prototyped, and what has also gone on it is a augment. So this is new with prototype gear. They're all going to have augments on. There's all different augments you can have. Trapper is what I've currently got, which would increase my status effect duration by 5%. Now you'll notice with prototype gear that they have augment levels, and by using the piece you'll up the level to a maximum of 10. Every time you up the level, you are going to get a higher buff to whatever's on there. So once I've got this all the way to level 10, I'll get the maximum status effect duration buff that I can get off of that piece. And they stack as well. So if I've got other prototype pieces with other augments on them and they're the same, I can level them up as well, and we can keep on stacking whatever we want to do, or we can have a mixture of different augments. We can really play around with these, and there's a bit more build diversity with what augments you're going to want to have. But leveling them all up will give you the max values. If you go to the stats menu now, we do have a prototype augment section to show you all of the buffs in the totals, what you've currently got. So these will obviously look a lot better once we've got all of the augments as we want them, with them maxed out at level 10. Now, the problem with that is that it costs prototype gear to change the augment if you want to change it to another one. So let me show you that. If we go back in if we go into the weapon here, I think we do it from here. So on the Lexington, I can press M to tinker. It'll take it straight to the Proto Lab, and this is where you can change the augment. It costs to level up, but it also costs to re-roll as well. So if I want to re-roll the augment, I'd have to hold X here. I can't do that right now because I've got no cause. But if I re-roll it, it'll give me a different augment, and it'll show me my current one. I can decide whether to keep or change. Every time I re-roll, it'll cost more prototype cores. So if I'm looking for a certain augment, it might take me a while to get the one I want with an advancing cost as I do it. You can now see where prototype cores are very, very valuable. Currently cost 2 to re-roll. I believe in the PTS it went up to 50. So it could eventually cost 50 for a reroll. So just think about that and why you're going to be wanting to farm prototype cores. But once you've got the augment that you want, it's safe, it's saved, and you can level it up. Also bear in mind that if I chose to upgrade this augment now and let it get to level 10, say, and then change my mind, if I re-roll the augment, it'll go back to level 0. I will have to level it up again. So bear that in mind as well. That's essentially how it works. Can you change any attributes or anything like that? So for example, the caretaker here, we just made it and we got these rolls. Am I now able to change anything on it? No, you can't recalibrate anything. You can't optimize anything as it stands. This is a big piece of feedback though, and they are looking at ways of us to be able to recalibrate them. Not so much of an issue when you're upgrading for recalibration, because you can upgrade, or you can recalibrate before you upgrade to get exactly how you want it to be. But in this instance now, where I want to max out my other rolls like health damage and damage target out of cover, there's no way I can do it. So hopefully in the future there will be a way that you can also get these maxed out without finding another one, leveling it all up for another lottery chance again. Personally, I don't mind how it is now, but a lot of people are feeding that back and they want to be able to max the rolls. So that's something that is coming in the future. But yeah, it's quite important to know in escalation for the pieces that drop, you are stuck with whatever attributes and talents that they come with. But again, that's going to be a great way to farm prototype cores when they drop. So if you do get stuff that's useless, just dismantle it. It's going to give you a prototype core on dismantle. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about prototype gear and escalation. To get to the higher tiers in escalation, the idea is that you build your prototype build, you get the right augments on your build, you level them up, and you make yourself extremely powerful. With that, the higher tiers of escalation will become easier for you, and that's the goal. That's the grind now for us players at the end of the game. Get our prototype builds, practice on those escalation missions, and see if we can complete 10. And as you do start getting the prototype builds, even if they're just kind of like midway, you'll start be able to advance and grind harder in the higher tiers rather than the mid tiers, and then you'll see more prototype drops and things like that. But remember, again, raids and the incursion will give you prototype cores every week. You can do that on every character as well. So there's ways to get prototype cores without prototype gear. And when you are at around 4, 5, 6 tier, around that sort of level, I'd say do start to farm escalation for prototype pieces to dismantle to get more cores, and with a chance to get a piece you might actually want as well. Who knows, you might get a god roll drop, which would be amazing. But that's the system, and I think I've answered everything people have been asking about in the streams. Again, if I haven't, post down below and I'll try and get back to you. And if anyone else has got more advice to give people about prototype gear and escalation, feel free to post as well for people to have a read through. This is our beginner's guide right now. I've done the best that I can for the system as it is, and I've just got on and I've had a bit of a PTS experience with it and a launch day experience. But as time goes on, things will get improved. We'll remake this video down the line, and hopefully there's some good improvements coming in the future, especially like optimization and things like that. But thank you for watching this, and again, don't forget to like the video, comment down below, subscribe for more content from me, and until next time, take care.